Good morning out there. In there, out there. From in here, out here. Vivi's nose and the amazing Vivi, my buddy, in from her soggy walk. Good rain last night. Gotta have the first sip. Good morning, Mark, Mariana, Joe. Oh man, that's good, isn't it? First sip. Do you know that site? I keep saying it. It's a site. Check it out because it's a lovely way to start your day with the first sip. First sip. Just Google it or whatever. And look for kindnesses along with James Cruz. Well, funny things, good. Oh, gotta show you the shirt our daughter got me for Father's Day. Don't say DeSantis. Don't say DeSantis. There you go. Oh boy. What's this? Chinese? Oh, we live in interesting times. No, they're not. Disrupt. Oh, my goodness. Somebody walked by. Thank you for that alert. Thank you. Okay, go back to sleep now. Thank you. But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate being forewarned about those fireworks everywhere. We had to drug Vivi. Well, she does not like the booms. Now Meredith, when she was little, our daughter, got me this shirt. Did you see this shirt? Don't say DeSantis. She said one time at the fireworks, she was about 5, she said, I even like the booms. I even like the booms. Yeah. So welcome to the Sentimentalist. Have you seen the movie Air? There's a backstory to that Air. It's about the Air Jordan shoes. And it features Matt Damon as Sonny Vaccaro. He does not look at all like Sonny Vaccaro. We knew Sonny Vaccaro. He's from Pittsburgh. And he's kind of a guy like this. You know, he knows a guy, so he was a little scary. And the backstory that I think would have been interesting to put in the movie was that the first coach that he went to try to sell this idea of, we'll pay you if your players wear our uniforms, Nike, whatever, was my dad. And my dad declined. That's a nice way of saying. He said absolutely not, but declined. And it's interesting because he said how it's immoral that you would pay me all this money while my players wear the uniforms and get nothing, and I don't want them to get anything, and I don't want me to get anything. I want to play the game. But it's certainly wrong if I get paid and they have to play in order for me to get paid. That's corrupt. Well, that didn't work out. He even hired security guards to, if he said, if I see Vaccaro coming near the arena, I'm calling security. How about that? My dad was a guy who did so many things and nobody knows. Nobody cares. They care maybe if they hear it, but so many stories. When Al McGuire was named Coach of the Year, he came up to get the award, and then he turned around and looked at my dad, whose name was Buzz. He looked at my dad and he said, Buzz, this should have been yours. Never got there. Attention. There's a film out by the Norwegians that's nothing but slow. You sit on a train for several hours. That's all you do. And their whole idea is to slow everybody down. Now, some reviewers, of course, in the, being catty about it, said, well, they slow everybody down to the point of boredom. But I think that says more about the reviewers. because they're really trying to slow everybody down. Look out the train window, for example. Hours. Reminded me of Naomi Nye's definition of poetry. She said to high school kids, "What poetry is slow talk. It's slow talk." But of course, you give it to students and they read it fast and they talk about it fast and they search for meanings and then the poem dies right there. And it could have been slow talk. Deborah Crystal sent Jim Alice, who teaches in the prisons, and she searched for the longest time, and she found this volume of writings, 2 of them she found, wonderful volumes of things written by the inmates of prisons. And Jim Alice, as you know, teaches, as I've said, teaches in the prisons. And he leaves brokenhearted every day, time. You know why? Because there's a whole bunch of the men that he teaches could be out there. As they say to him, "We made one mistake. Do you ever make one? Ours was worse. But I'm okay. I want to go home. I want to go home." Oh my goodness, we had a pastor at the UCC church. She and her wife, Sarah, but Kaylin gave the sermon and she was wonderful. She said, wait a minute, I'm the most irreverent reverend you'll ever hear. And she just giggled, laughed, made jokes, and messed up and laughed, and here's the bread, and here's some, and poured a little bit of wine. It's a wonder she didn't spill it. She was so, and just dear and wonderful and kind. And you ready? They foster children. How many do you think they fostered? 8? How about 15? 34. 34. We have a daughter. 34. I got a good humbling this week. The library in Holland had a book sale, cleaning out the books they didn't want in the library anymore. And after church on Sunday, one of the, where'd you go? Oh, I see. Well, thanks a lot. You can't even lie down through the whole show. Over on the wood where it's cooler. Well, I'll pat the sofa. Where was I? Somewhere. I was right here.
Library sale.
Oh, a library sale. Thank you, Julie. She's knitting. I think they're part of her anatomy. She's knitting. Anyway, she's also checking our to-do list. Get ready, Jack. Okay, we're back at the library. So they were having get rid of the book sale that we don't want anymore. And one of our parishioners, Shirley, came up to me after church and she said, "I'm all excited." And I said, "Why?" She said, "I have a book of yours that I didn't have. I went to the library sale and there it was." I didn't get any royalties for that. Meredith can sell a painting and get about $1,000. You know what my royalties are for one book? $2. I get 2. Got 90 poems in there. So if we divide that up, that's a couple cents a poem. That's not bad. Even if you didn't like it, which most people don't, but anyway. How about that? Anything but Supreme Court, huh? Boy. Pretty soon we're going to be able to have no affirmative action. They're going to allow no redheads and no people over 6 feet tall. Can't have that. No MAGAs. But that's okay with me. Nobody with a scar. No, they can't. They're going to write it all. You'll be able to get it. It'll be on July 3rd. I'm probably running out of time jabbing it way here. But July 3rd was my grandmother's birthday. She'd have been 806 or something. And we always celebrated 4th of July on July 3rd, and it should have been celebrated on July 2nd. And John Adams is still angry about that. Sit down, John. Sit down, John. He's still angry about that. It should have been on July 2nd. I don't know. Why did it get changed? I don't remember why it got changed to the 4th. But anyway, my grandmother's in between, July 3rd. And what a character she was. Sat in the same chair, played solitaire most of the day. Was a widow for, I don't know, close to 50 some years. We used to go on, color tours in the fall. I think I've told this before, but that's okay. Color tours in the fall, and we'd ask Graham to go with us. And we called her Lala, L-A-L-A. We'd say, Lala, you want to go? Let's go. Come on, we're going to color tour. She'd say no. She wouldn't go. And then when we'd come back, she'd say, how was it? We'd say, oh, it was incredible. And then she'd point out the window and she said, did it look like these? She'd point to her trees. Oh, man. So good. Our poor daughter was trying to get through to the IRS. Did you ever do that? Guess how long she was on hold? An hour and a half. It's a good thing you have phones, that you can just carry around, be on hold while you read War and Peace. An hour and a half on hold. I'm sorry. All our people are. But she was kind. She said, the poor IRS, they don't have enough people anywhere. She read about that. What does that say? Oh, I counted up how many books we have that are inscribed. 900 and some. What a collection. I want to donate them to the local library. I don't know if they're up for that or not, because they might not have room. They just pile them up in a corner. 900 and some. All those people we met. How fortunate, huh? Wow. Well, we hope you're doing okay out there. Yeah. There's a person in our yoga group who was a film instructor at Grand Valley. And a couple months ago, I thought, I'll impress her with this, because I read on the Writer's Almanac that Jean-Luc Godard had died. And I went into yoga class and I told her that. She went, oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Well, she told me yesterday at yoga that she would walk home that, I said to her, it's Jean Cocteau's birthday. She said, oh, really, is it? Another filmmaker, And and she said, you told me that about Jean-Luc, and he died a long time ago. And I went, well, you found me out, trying to impress you. Here I forgot that the new Writer's Almanac are old ones. Well, Jack, I think I wish I'd have kept a list of how many times I've tried to, just kind of wiggle my way in and impress somebody and then have it backfire. Jack, he passed away many years ago. Well, let's go to the fireworks. When we were kids, now we lived in western Pennsylvania where they have hills, or as the guy at Hope said to me one time when he went there, he'd never been there, he said, those aren't hills, those are mountains. No, they were hills to us. This is so flat that they were mountains to him. So on the 4th of July, you'd go to the top of this, what was called Volant, V-O-L-A-N-T, Volant Hill. Down in the valley was the little town of Volant, had about 80 people. And you would, if you got there early enough, you'd park your car at the top of Volant Hill and go out in the field, and then you'd watch the fireworks. And my sister and I, Betsy and I, oh my goodness, what a treat that was. So let's finish up today with a poem that I thought was called From the Top of Volant Hill. And I looked for about 10, 15 minutes and I couldn't find it, and then I stumbled on a poem that had a different title. So the title of the poem is Back Then. That is a better title. Back Then. From the top of Volant Hill, we'd watch the fireworks each 4th. Parked in whatever year's Plymouth we were driving to work or ball games, for groceries, or to my grandmother's in the Steel Valley. Outside, lying in the summer's grasses, the teenagers would whoop at each explosion, while my sister and I gazed out the back window, dazzled by the sparks against the sky, watching the stars blink back into view as the firefalls dripped their way down and disappeared, leaving a dark line above the town. And that poem's for Betsy. Take care. Try to be cheerful. Try to be kind. Be kind. Look for kindness. Thanks.